it was so sad, and Gigi and all the families that were there. It changed everything. It made everything that we planned for go out the window, and just had to go with the spirit, had to go with the genuine feeling of how we were all feeling, which was devastating.
Well, everyone thought Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz had it all. A perfect marriage, a thriving family, and a music empire that seemed untouchable. But behind the cameras and red carpets, things might not be what they seem. Rumors that once floated quietly through their inner circle are exploding into the open. Whispers of betrayal, a shocking tape, and someone close to them right in the middle of it all. Friends, fans, and even family are watching as the story unfolds, and the fallout could hit harder than anyone imagined. How much of their perfect life was real, and how much was just for show? By the end of this, you'll see the truth in full. Alicia Keys exposes Lala Anthony. Alicia Keys had weathered scandals before, including the messy whispers about allegedly stealing Swizz Beatz from his first wife. Over time, she'd managed to erase that narrative and rebuild a pristine brand. Powerful music, perfect marriage, blended family bliss, and a reputation for grace under pressure. The world believed the story because she sold it so well. Grammy-winning goddess, conscious queen, unbothered by chaos, living her truth. But suddenly, at 43, Alicia is confronting a new betrayal. And this time, it didn't come from the outside. According to rapidly spreading reports and blistering online speculation, one of her closest friends, someone she welcomed into her inner circle, someone she trusted like family, is now being accused of getting far too close to Swizz Beatz. And the name at the center of it all? Lala Anthony. To understand why this alleged affair is blowing holes in Alicia's empire, we have to rewind and remember what was really at stake. When Alicia and Swizz got married in 2010, it wasn't just about romance. It was two global brands merging into a billion-dollar image. Alicia Keys, the soulful activist with squeaky clean appeal, and Swizz Beatz, the fiery hip-hop architect behind hits for Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and DMX. Together, they became the evolved couple, the stylish creatives hosting fancy art shows in Dubai, showing up at the Met Gala hand in hand, raising 5 children across multiple homes from New Jersey to London to Saudi Arabia. Their secret weapon was transparency, or so it seemed. They had already tamed their biggest demon, the fact that their love story began as an affair. Swizz's ex-wife, Mashonda, once publicly accused Alicia of wrecking her marriage. That open letter in 2009 went viral before going viral was even a thing. Alicia and Swizz faced brutal backlash and somehow re-emerged as ambassadors of forgiveness. They even wrote a book with Mashonda about blended family healing. They posed together in photos. They did interviews side by side. They turned scandal into a brand. And that is precisely why this Lala Anthony rumor is so explosive. Lala wasn't just another celebrity friend. She was family. She vacationed with them. She was there for birthday parties, inside private jets, captured in cozy, candid photos on Alicia's Instagram feed. Fans loved seeing her as Alicia's ride-or-die sister in solidarity. After all, Lala had her own highly publicized heartbreak after Carmelo Anthony's cheating scandals. Who better to trust at your table than someone who has also survived betrayal? But now the whispers are growing too loud to ignore. Claims that Swizz and Lala have crossed a line Alicia never saw coming. People are revisiting old photos, digging up suspicious captions, and questioning whether Alicia's perfect blended family castle was quietly crumbling all along. Is history repeating itself, with Alicia now playing the role Mashonda once tearfully warned her about? Or is this a cruel rumor designed to destroy one of Hollywood's most carefully protected images, and perhaps someone's lifelong trust? How a rumor becomes a wildfire. Long before Alicia Keys became the trending topic of the hashtag betrayal, the digital world had already laid the perfect trap for a scandal like this. We're living in a time where celebrity drama doesn't need confirmation, it just needs traction. One anonymous message on a gossip page, one blurry photo taken from the wrong angle, one shady comment left under a post, and suddenly, social media takes over the storytelling. Within hours, TikTok detectives have stitched timelines, Instagram fan pages have zoomed in on body language, and Twitter has turned "what if" into "must be true." This is the exact environment where the Lala Anthony Whisper campaign was born. Swizz Beatz, despite years of polished family branding and motivational posts, never truly escaped the shadow of his Mashonda-era cheating scandal. In the court of public opinion, he was a man who had already done it once. That history, combined with Alicia's complicated other woman storyline, created a powder keg of public suspicion that only needed a spark. And then came little sparks everywhere. Anonymous blind items hinting at a rapper's wife being betrayed by a close friend. Old paparazzi pictures of Lala and Swizz laughing a little too comfortably at a nightclub event. A resurfaced clip of Alicia calling Lala "one of my closest sisters." Suddenly, people started putting pieces together, whether they were meant to connect or not. The rumor had metastasized into something bigger. It was no longer about whether something happened, but how long it had been happening right under Alicia's nose. The question now is, did anyone see the next twist coming? Miss Jones ignites the Swizz Beatz and Lala Anthony scandal. For years, the rumors about Swizz Beatz and Lala Anthony floated quietly in the background of the celebrity gossip universe, easy to ignore or dismiss as idle chatter. Fans and bloggers would speculate occasionally, but there was nothing concrete. Just whispers, side glances at Instagram photos, or those tiny observations that only obsessive fans notice. But in 2021, those whispers suddenly didn't feel so small anymore. They exploded into a roar, and the spark came from a surprising source. Miss Jones, a veteran radio host well known in hip-hop circles for her fearless, sometimes unfiltered commentary, dropped a claim on her show that sent the entertainment world into a frenzy. This wasn't some faceless gossip account or a clickbait blog. It was a media personality with credibility, someone who had decades of insider access and wasn't afraid to stir the pot. She said she had received a direct message from an alleged insider within Swizz Beatz's own circle. Someone close to the couple, she claimed, who wanted the world to know the truth. According to the DM, Swizz and Lala weren't just close friends. They were madly in love and had been secretly entangled in a long-term affair. The allegations didn't stop there. The source added a dramatic twist. Lala, having recently filed for divorce from Carmelo Anthony, was supposedly eager to make the relationship public. She allegedly pressured Swizz to leave Alicia Keys, pushing for a new, highly visible life together. The insider even tried to back up the claims with what they said was observable evidence from social media. Lala's comments on Swizz's posts were allegedly too frequent, too intimate, too intense. According to this supposed source, Swizz had even told her to chill, fearing Alicia might notice. The reaction was immediate. Swizz Beatz didn't stay silent. He went on the offensive publicly, responding to Miss Jones's claim with a short, furious message, "Knock it the F off." But then he did something that split the public. He posted a screenshot of Alicia Keys' song, coincidentally titled "Lala Unlocked," with the caption, "This is the only Lala I'm rocking." Some saw it as a bold, strategic PR move, a way to publicly assert loyalty and protect his marriage. Others read it as a subtle acknowledgement that there was tension and gossip he couldn't entirely control. For a while, this tactic seemed to work. Alicia Keys reportedly stood firmly by Swizz. The couple maintained a radiant public image, appearing in glossy magazine spreads and glamorous events, like the 2025 Met Gala. They even celebrated 15 years of marriage on the 31st of July with deeply affectionate social media posts, praising each other with the kind of poetic language reserved for movie scripts. The couple appeared untouchable, but behind the curated posts, the gossip machinery had only shifted into high gear. Then came the rumor that turned everything up a notch: the alleged leaked tape. Suddenly, the story became terrifyingly tangible. Blogs and social media accounts began circulating claims of a private recording between Swizz and Lala, one said to be explicit and deeply compromising. Suddenly, it wasn't just a rumor anymore. It was supposedly evidence, the kind of smoking gun that could destroy reputations. The story morphed into a narrative of betrayal that allegedly stretched back at least 3 years, possibly overlapping with Lala's marriage to Carmelo Anthony. The online frenzy didn't stop there. Social media users, particularly accounts like nosleep_411, began reporting an even darker twist: that Swizz had fathered another child outside his marriage, with a secret paternity test allegedly confirming it. That claim spread like wildfire, fueling the narrative of ultimate betrayal. Fans speculated endlessly. Threads dissected every social media post, every cryptic lyric, every event appearance. The combination of a rumored leaked tape, an affair with a close friend, and a possible secret child was catastrophic. It painted a picture of a perfect storm, a public humiliation so layered that no amount of PR could easily undo it. The public was left asking the same question over and over: what is real, and what is manufactured for attention? Alicia Keys' private meltdown. The moment the news of that alleged tape broke, insiders say Alicia Keys completely lost her composure. This was the woman who, for more than 20 years, had built a public image of calm, poise, and spiritual control, someone who seemed untouchable no matter the chaos around her. But behind closed doors, according to sources close to her, that carefully maintained facade crumbled like a house of cards. Friends and staff reportedly watched, stunned, as Alicia erupted into what some described as a full-blown meltdown. Years of suppressed suspicion, tension, and perhaps ignored red flags erupted in one raw, emotional confrontation that left everyone in the room shaken. The world she had meticulously crafted around her music, her marriage, and the ideal of blend, her term for harmonious co-parenting, was suddenly burning down. Insiders say the showdown with her husband and the alleged friend wasn't subtle or polite. It was loud, emotional, and devastating. A collision of heartbreak and fury that reportedly left even longtime staffers speechless. The kind of confrontation that changes everything, where secrets are exposed and there's no going back. Naturally, the PR teams swung into overdrive. The moment the story hit the web, anonymous sources, presumably from their public relations camp, rushed to deny everything. Media outlets like Media Takeout were flooded with statements insisting the rumors were completely false, dismissing them as malicious internet fiction. According to these denials, there was no secret baby, no paternity test, and certainly no talk of divorce. Alicia and Swizz, the statements insisted, were happier than ever. Swizz added fuel to the PR narrative with a cryptic Instagram post that read, "Stay in your zone." Fans quickly interpreted it as his way of telling the public to back off, a thinly veiled attempt to control the narrative before it spiraled out of control. But for many online, the denials didn't hold water. The gossip and speculation only intensified, and a powerful theme quickly emerged: karma. Social media became a battlefield of opinion, with users connecting the current allegations to the controversial origins of Alicia and Swizz's relationship, recalling the pain of Mashonda Tifrere's public heartbreak. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Alicia, once labeled the other woman, was now allegedly in the same position Mashonda had endured over a decade ago. It was a narrative that felt almost too dramatic to be real. The woman who had endured scrutiny, who had been criticized and demonized as a homewrecker, was now reportedly the scorned wife, betrayed in the most public, humiliating way imaginable. Friends and fans who had admired Alicia for her resilience suddenly found themselves grappling with a different image. The image of a woman watching her own fairy tale life unravel. A life built on a foundation that now seemed painfully fragile. Public opinion split almost instantly. On one side, some sympathized deeply with Alicia, viewing her as the tragic victim of a cheating husband and a friend who had turned into a betrayer. On the other hand, a growing number of voices expressed little sympathy, interpreting the scandal as poetic justice, a kind of karmic balance for a relationship they argued began with someone else's heartbreak. The debate was fierce, personal, and unrelenting, fueled by endless online commentary, viral memes, and late-night talk show speculation. Meanwhile, Lala Anthony, whose involvement was rumored to be central to the controversy, remained largely silent, leaving the internet to read between the lines. Some pointed to a cryptic Instagram story she posted which read, "Don't blame a woman for showing up where she was invited." For many, that was a pointed message aimed directly at Swizz, suggesting he bore the responsibility. But whether intentional or not, the story was enough to provoke speculation. Lala's reputation, already under scrutiny due to her high-profile marriage to Carmelo Anthony and past tabloid coverage of his infidelities, took another hit. For years, she had been framed as the loyal, long-suffering spouse, and now she was being cast, at least by some online commentators, as a figure of betrayal. And while the initial shock of betrayal made headlines, experts in celebrity culture suggest the consequences could extend far beyond heartbreak and social media drama. The empire in crisis, what's at stake? When stories like these break, it's easy to reduce everything to gossip, heartbreak, or celebrity scandal. But for Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz, the stakes go far beyond personal pain. What's really at risk is an empire, a world they've painstakingly built together over more than a decade. They are not just a couple in love, they are a brand, a creative partnership, and a symbol of modern power couples in entertainment. The kind of influence they wield stretches across music, fashion, philanthropy, and business ventures. And now, cracks are starting to show. Think about it. Every deal they've signed, every product they've launched, every public initiative has, in some way, been tied to the image of their life together. Their story, the glamorous, aspirational narrative of a united, creative family, has been part of the pitch to partners and brands. From high-end fashion collaborations to charity foundations and luxury lifestyle campaigns, from tech startup investments to media projects, the couple has presented a vision that love and ambition can coexist in harmony. Now, with allegations of betrayal and infidelity surfacing, that vision is threatened. It's no longer just a private heartbreak. It has the potential to unravel an empire worth millions, both financially and culturally. Even the concept they've championed for years, blend, comes under scrutiny. This wasn't just a catchy slogan, it was a philosophy. Alicia and Swizz have spent more than 10 years promoting it as a blueprint for life. Co-parenting, nurturing family relationships, and merging personal growth with professional ambition. They turned it into workshops, speaking engagements, and campaigns designed to inspire others. A divorce now doesn't just signal the end of a marriage. It questions the authenticity of everything they've shared with the public. Suddenly, the very narrative that once inspired fans, partners, and followers feels precarious, maybe even hollow. And then there's the human cost. Their children, raised under the public eye, are part of this delicate balance. They've grown up in a home carefully portrayed as loving and united, a modern blended family that fans looked up to. Now, the stability they once seemed to have is in jeopardy. Headlines, social media chatter, and speculation can't measure the emotional impact on a family watching its private life be dissected in public. For those close to them, this isn't just a marriage on the rocks. It's a seismic shift that could touch every corner of their lives, both personal and professional. Yet amid the uncertainty, one truth remains undeniable: Alicia's music. Beyond the scandal, beyond the empire that she and Swizz built together, Alicia Keys has created a legacy that stands on its own. Over more than 20 years, she has become one of the most decorated and respected artists of her generation. She has earned multiple Grammys, sold millions of albums worldwide, and inspired countless young musicians. She has lent her voice to movements and causes that matter, from education initiatives to social justice campaigns, showing that her influence is far more than the sum of her headlines. Still, this moment highlights the precarious intersection of personal life and shared empire. While Alicia's musical legacy remains untouchable, the brand built on their partnership, on love, family, and shared creative ventures, faces an uncertain path. Every collaboration, every family-centered project, every campaign tied to their story may be scrutinized anew. A relationship once admired as aspirational now teeters on the edge, with consequences stretching far beyond the private sphere. And amid all this turmoil, Alicia's music quietly reminds the world that her achievements, her voice, and her influence are enduring, even if the empire she built with Swizz faces an uncertain future. With so many conflicting narratives and unverified claims, it's nearly impossible to discern the absolute truth. What do you believe is happening behind the gilded doors of the Beatz-Keys household? Is this a case of a long-hidden truth finally coming to light? Or is it a calculated and malicious attack designed to destroy a powerful marriage? We want to hear your theories and thoughts in the comments below. And if you need to stay on top of every twist and turn in this story and other celebrity deep dives, make sure you subscribe to our channel and check out the next video that pops up on your screen.